Welcome to Art of Lore Digital Library, a project of the Museum of Artist Beginnings. The topic of this library is the art of now renowned artists, Elven, Jedi, and Dragon lore, from their childhoods or early explorations in a given art form. This topic was selected as it conforms to the goals of the museum to encourage children to become artists and to enable researchers to study artists' backgrounds and evolution by showing them the developmental process leading to accomplished work, giving them a relatively broad view of different art forms within a small, efficiently assembled collection. There are 66 items. These are jewelry, paintings, drawings, animation, digital art, and ceramics. The library collection is divided into artist collections, one for Elven, one for Jedi, and one for Dragon. The library includes several features to pique the interest of visitors and to view and obtain images and video. On the home page, an image covering most of the window shows an item which is dynamically selected, as are the featured item and featured collection. Each time a visitor enters the site, these features will show a different image. Looking at some of my favorite items, we can see some of these features in action. The large photo to the right of the item metadata provides a clear, inviting view of the art. And clicking on the photo presents a full screen version, which offers visitors the option to save the image. Videos can be played directly in the item's record page, saved, and viewed at full screen. Metadata to the left of the photo clearly describes items for visitors and provides information for other libraries to see and use. Also, the site is responsive to user displays, resizing the photo with the window size. Users have several options to locate items. They can type a term in the search box at the top, and they will then be presented with a list of search results, which they can click on the image or title to access the record page. The search box will search for items in the item title, metadata, or tags. All of these are hyperlinked, and clicking on a term will return a list of items matching that term, with items grouped by art form via these hyperlinked tags. Users can browse all items from the Browse Items menu option, sorting by title, creator, and date added. They can also browse collections from the Browse Collections menu option. Again, sorting by title or date added. From there, users can click on the View Items link to see the art created by the chosen artist. To digitize three-dimensional objects and items larger than letter size, we photograph them inside a light box with 5 lamps surrounding the light box. We used a Nikon digital SLR camera to capture JPEG images, then edited the images minimally, cropping them close to the object perimeter and correcting for lighting, color cast, and stray specks. For letter size or smaller items, we scan them to TIFF at resolutions calculated to produce an image no less than 3,000 pixels along the shortest side, and at a 24-bit depth for color images and 8-bit for grayscale images. These were also cropped in derivative versions saved as JPEG. For digital art, which is copyrighted, we applied a watermark in a color matching the image palette. Animations were uploaded as is, as they were already in MP4 format. Metadata is recorded in Dublin Core Extended with terms controlled by Dublin Core Metadata Initiative type vocabulary, Internet media types, Library of Congress subject headings, and the Getty Art and Architecture Thesaurus. Data is captured according to the current version of resource description and access, which you can see here in the use of brackets for supplied creation dates. Metadata fields were sorted into an order ideal for user viewing, and lists of local terms were created to provide vocabulary dropdowns for the metadata librarian to use for creator, rights, and rights holder. Metadata was entered with the item in hand to provide measurements and material information. Items were recorded one at a time with media files uploaded at the time of recording. Once all items were entered, relationships between items were recorded. One of the challenges in developing this library was positioning and sizing the record page images to make them dominant and inviting. By default, Omeka places only a small version of the item's photo at the bottom of the page. This resulted in the text dominating the record page, making the pages look quite dry, the opposite of the proposed colorful, youthful, artistic look focused on big images, a look which is key to appealing to the library's young audience. Figuring out how to make the image larger involved exploring every niche of Omeka's backend interface, as well as trial and error, and it was finally achieved by setting the thumbnail size to 600 pixels. Bringing the image to the top of the page was significantly more difficult, as it involved customizing multiple HTML tags in CSS, resizing, floating, and padding them. Again, this necessitated a great deal of trial and error, as each change threw off other elements both on record pages and on the home and browsing pages. Among the lessons I learned was that the one-to-one principle truly is an ideal that cannot always be realized without sacrificing the user experience. Here I created localized metadata to record the metadata for the item surrogate, but I had hoped to create separate items for objects and their surrogates, then link them together. Through Omeka, this cannot be done such that the image shows in the object's record page and the two do not result in seemingly duplicate records, thereby confusing the user. Were this project to be funded with $1 million, I would expand the artist collections, procuring childhood art from Anne Stokes, Mitsuhiro Arita, and other acclaimed artists. Tags are already in place to tie existing works to new works, and additional artists would bring more art forms such as collages, metalwork, and sand art. $1 million could allow the collection to grow up to 15,000 items, making it more relevant to a more diverse and larger population, thus extending its reach.